US President Donald Trump, while addressing a press conference on a deal struck between US, Canada and Mexico, said that India wanted to start trade talks with the US. Immediately, President Trump described India as tariff king, while saying that India called up in pursuit of talks and wanted, quote-unquote, to keep the president happy. Saying that he spoke to Prime Minister Modi, Trump said that India promised to lower tariffs on Harley-Davidson.
India, which is the tariff king, they called us and they say, we want to start negotiations immediately. When Bob Lighthizer said, what happened? You would never do this. They said, no, we want to keep your president happy. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? It's true. They have to keep us happy because they understand that we're wise to what's been happening. India charges tariffs of 100%. And then if we want to put a tariff of 25% on, people will call from Congress. But that's not free trade. And I'd look back to people and say, where do these people come from? Where do they come from? So because of the power of tariffs and the power that we have with tariffs, we, in many cases, won't even have to use them. That's how powerful they are. Well, India charges us tremendous tariffs when we send Harley-Davidsons, motorcycles, other things to India. They charge very, very high tariffs. And I've spoken to Prime Minister Modi, and he's going to reduce them very substantially. Nobody ever spoke to these people. He said, nobody ever spoke to me. In other words, we've had leaders here. I'm not, trying to be overly dramatic. We've had presidents of the United States and trade representatives. They never spoke to India. Brazil's another one. That's a beauty. They charge us whatever they want. So if you ask some of the companies, they say Brazil is among the toughest in the world, maybe the toughest in the world. We don't call them and say, hey, you're treating our companies unfairly. You're treating our country unfairly. So India is a very, very high, they really charge tremendously high tariffs. On motorcycles, it was 100%. So you send a motorcycle into India, there's a 100% tariff. Now that's so high that it's like a barrier. In other words, who's going to buy it? Costs you so much. Now they've already reduced that substantially, but it's still too high. My relationship with India is great, with Prime Minister Modi is great, and they're going to start doing a lot. They've called us to make a deal. We didn't even call them. They called us to make a deal, which is like shocking to people.
Well, here on the streets of New York, many will not know what is happening in the world of trade and business, specifically on the tariff wars that have broken out between US and China. But from White House, a strong message was sent by US President Donald Trump. He said that India is a tariff king, and Indians have called the White House so that there can be a trade deal. This is for the second time that the US president has spoken on the issue, specifically on India and tariffs in past few days, perhaps in last 2 days, and the message is strong by the administration in Washington. Question is, what happened to friend India? US President did said that he has a great relationship with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He said India is a friend, and earlier this week he also lauded India's role when it comes to lifting people from poverty. So it's give some, take some. But at a time when a global tariff war has broken between Washington and Beijing, India wants to play safe. US President also said that it was Indians who called White House to have a trade deal. India is mum on it. There have been no official word from New Delhi. We have been reaching out to officials there, but it is US President Donald Trump who has been speaking about this trade deal between US and India.